Welcome to this demonstration of the Concrete5 Content Management System. I'm Jamie Johnson with Pixel Web Design, and we're going to walk you through today how to use the Concrete5 Content Management System to edit and create new pages for your existing website. So what we're going to do first here is we're going to log into Concrete5, which is just simply the /login for most websites. Once we're logged in, we'll enter our username and password here and here. There's a remain logged into website checkbox, and when we check that, what it'll do is it'll keep us logged into Concrete5 for up to 2 weeks. And so as long as we don't click the sign out button, the next time we come back to the website within that 2-week period, we'll still be logged into Concrete5. So once we sign in here, it's going to take us back to the home page of the website. There's going to be one notable difference though from what we saw before on the home page. There's going to be a series of editing buttons that are now available to us up here at the top of the page. So now you'll see we can come to any page of the website, and there's going to be a series of buttons that we can use to make changes to any page of the website. So for example, if I wanted to go to the academics page of this website, we simply can navigate to that, and then once we're there on that page, we can go to the edit button and click edit this page, and then what we're going to see happen is that little red boxes, which are referred to as blocks in Concrete5, are going to appear around all the editable pieces of this web page. So for example, if I wanted to come down here and edit this content, I can simply mouse over it, click it, and then choose edit, and then we get this little text editor, which is probably pretty familiar too. It's very similar to what you have in Microsoft Word and other programs, and with it we can come in here and make changes to this text, as well as add images and create links. So for example, we added this text, we can come in here, we can bold that text, and while it's still highlighted, I can create a link. There's two ways you can create links in Concrete5. One is this insert edit link button, and with it you use it to create links that go off of your website. So for example, if I wanted to create a link to Google, I just simply type that in here, click insert, and now hello world is a link that will go to Google. If I wanted to make international minded a link to a page that's on my website, we're going to use a different tool. So rather than using this tool to create a link on the website, we're going to use this insert link to page button. The cool thing about this insert link to page button is, one, it's very easy to use, because when you click it, what you're going to get is a sitemap listing out all the pages on the website. So it makes it really easy to find the page that you want to link to, and then you simply click it. And now international minded is to a link to that academics page. The other cool thing about using this insert link to page tool is that Concrete5 is smart enough to know that when this tool is used, that link is supposed to link to that page regardless if the page name change, regardless if the page URL changes. Concrete5 is going to link to that page as long as that page exists. So when linking to a page that's on the website, always use this insert link to page button rather than the linking tool. Other things that you frequently do on a web page is adding images. So we're going to add an image here. To do so, all we simply do is we click this add image button. And what's going to open up is called the file manager. Think of the file manager as a central repository for all your images, PDF files, MP3 files, PowerPoints, Word documents. Anything that a person would either view or download on the website is first uploaded to the file manager, and then once it's in the file manager, you can use it on any page of the website. So for example, here's a picture that we're going to add here. So I'm just going to click on it, click choose, and what's going to happen is this image is going to be applied to the page. And you'll notice it's applied at whatever size the file was uploaded. So if you need to make changes to an image, as far as size go, if you want to crop it, usually the best thing to do is to make those changes before you upload it to the website to the size you want to be. More often than not, a standard size for an image is 300 pixels wide. This image is slightly smaller than that. Now you'll see that our picture is here, but the text is wrapping up right up to the bottom of it. I want to make it so this image is aligned on the right hand side of the page with the text wrapping up around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this image. You'll see we get the little boxes that are up here now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this Insert Edit Image button. When I click that, it's going to give us some basic information about the image URL and the image description. But if we click on this Appearance tab, it gives us an example here of our image and our text. So if I say alignment right, you'll see now my image is over here. But you'll notice the text is wrapping right up and kind of almost touching that image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little horizontal space. I'm going to add 3 pixels of space. Now we see we've got a buffer between our text and our image. If I want, I can add a border to this image. So I'm going to add 1 pixel border around it. So now we've got a little nice border around it. We'll come down here and click Update. So now our image is on the right hand side of the page with the border and that little padding on it. And that's probably one of the most technical things that you'll do on a Concrete5 website, or one of the hardest to remember things to do. Most edits are very intuitive in Concrete5. Using Concrete5 is almost like using an iPhone. You don't need a big instruction manual more often than not to make changes to your website. More than anything, all you have to do is navigate to the page and then click this editing button to be able to start making changes. Some other things to note on this content editor. When you're adding text to a website, more often than not you're copying that from Microsoft Word or from an email. And a lot of times what happens is there's hidden code that comes in with those sources of the text. And that hidden code is usually things for like font sizes and font colors. And more often than not, your style sheet is what you want to control the look of your website. So on this website, you see we've got the gray text and the blue headlines. So to strip that hidden code out before you paste it in, what you do is you click this little button here, the Paste as Plain Text button. When you click that, you get the little notice, Paste is now in plain text mode. Click again to toggle back to regular paste mode. And so now I can paste in any text that I want in this page, and it's going to strip out any of that hidden code. So it's just going to be text, that's it, and which will allow us to use our style sheet on the page. You'll notice that we've got this large bolded text up here at the top of the page, which is our headings for the page. This one's a heading 2. Most sites are going to use, or most pages are going to use a heading 1 for the title of the page. So I'm going to type some text here. And right now it's that heading 2, you'll notice, and I'm going to change it to a heading 1, which is usually going to be a larger text still. So when you add text to a brand new page, usually you're going to add a heading to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to use that heading 1 for the text. You'll notice when I click down here, this changes to paragraph text. So it's just regular text. So there's, headings 1, 2, and 3. So here's our heading 1. Here's our heading 2 text for the page. If you're going to create a link, for example, to a PDF file, you can highlight the text and use this Add File button. When you click that, the file manager is going to open up, and we've seen the file manager before when we were adding our image. And what we can do here is we can then link to any PDF file or other type of document that we want a user to either download or open up when they click this link. So I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to click Choose. So now what I've done is I've created a link on this word click, and when the user clicks that, it'll either download or give a dialog box asking the user if they want to save or view that file. So creating PDF files and then allowing those users to download those files to their computer or view those PDF files is very easy to do in Concrete5. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with a lot of these other buttons. They should be familiar to you from using Microsoft Word and other similar programs. Once you're done making your changes, you can click the Save button. And that's going to apply the changes that we've made in this content block to the page. And I can view them just the way they are set up, which is nice. Now, we're the only people in the world that can see these changes. These changes haven't been published yet, so they're not available for the world to see. So I can, at this point, I can go in and I can make changes to other blocks that are on this page and continue to edit it without the world seeing these changes. And once I've got everything exactly the way I want it to be, I can come back up here to my editing button, and you'll notice my button options are different now. I can either discard my edits, preview my edits, or publish my edits. And more often than not, once you're all done, what you're going to do is click the Publish My Edits button. Now for this website, I don't want to make these changes that I just made, so I'm going to click Discard My Edits, which is going to put the page back right to where it was before. Now, one cool thing that you can do in Concrete5 is you can continually add content to these different blocks. So I can go and I can click on any block and I can make add additional content to them or other types of things depending on what type of block there is. But I can also come back here into edit mode and I can add additional information in the columns for where these blocks are located. So I'll show you that here. Concrete5 has a number of different types of blocks. So this type of block that we were just making changes to is a content block. You'll notice that underneath every block there's always an empty block. So if I come way down here, I can see there's an add to column 2, and then on this one there's an add to column 1. So if I click on this block, it gives me some different options, and what I'll choose here is add block. And then what's going to be listed out here are all the different block types that are available to me. In Concrete5 there's a number of blocks that come standard, and there's a number of add-ons that you can add to Concrete5 that gives you even additional functionality. I'm going to highlight just some of the standard Concrete5 blocks that are here. One of the ones that we were just using here is the content block. So if I choose that, we're going to get our little text editor, and I can come in here and say hello world and then click add, and it's going to add that hello world text to that block. Now if I wanted to add even more things to this, I can come in here and add another block. So I'm going to say add block, and let's say I wanted to create a form. So I'm going to click this form block. And what this is one of those email forms. And creating email forms is very easy. It doesn't take any technical knowledge to do it in Concrete5. So I'm going to say, I'm going to ask a question, what's the name? There's a number of answer type fields. So usually for a name field you're going to use a text field. I can make it a required field. I'm going to add that question. And then I'm going to ask, what's your email? And I'm going to use an email address field. This field's going to check to see if a person actually typed in something that looks like an email address, meaning it's got the @ symbol and a .com or whatever. It's not going to actually check to see if it's a valid email address, but it's going to check to make sure it looks like an email address. I can make it a required field, and if I want, I can send this form from this email address. So when a person receives an email, when this form is created, the email is going to come from whatever email address the person typed in for this field. So I'm going to add that question. And then I'm going to add a comments field. So I'm going to use a text area for this one, which is one of those bigger form blocks. I'm going to add that question. Now if I want, I can make a change to any of these fields. I can change their order that they're displayed by using these arrow buttons. I can preview it. So here's my little email field, and then there's some options that I can give it. So I can put a little message that's going to appear when a person fills out this form. And I can also set what email address this form is going to come to. So I'm going to put it to come to my email address. If I want, I can put multiple email addresses separated with a comma in this field if I want the email to go to a lot of different people. There's also an option to put in a CAPTCHA. A CAPTCHA is one of those email or one of those fields where you have to type in the letters and numbers that's in a little image to make sure that you're a human. Now, most of the time I recommend not using that because it's difficult for the average user to use it. Sometimes those words and letters are very difficult to read. It's somewhat time consuming and frustrating. So unless you're getting a lot of spam coming off the forms, I would recommend leaving this set to no. But if you're getting a lot of spam coming off the forms and it's a real problem, I would set that to yes. You can also, when a person fills out the form, rather than a message being displayed to them like up here, you can select a page of the website that user would go to. So you could create a page, and at the top of that page it might say thank you, and then after that say, your submission is being reviewed, thank you for filling out our form, or anything along those lines. So you can have it go wherever you want. And if you want, there's a field type where you can have users upload a file. So if you want people to upload photos, you could do so. And when they do so, you can put that file into a set. A set is a way that you can group different files together within the file manager. So you could create a set in the file manager called uploads, and then you can apply the files from the form that are uploaded to that set. And that way, when you go into the file manager, you can click the set box and see anything that's in the upload set. So they'll all be grouped together and makes it easier to manage them that way. So once you've put all these in and we click add, we're going to add our little form to the page here. So quick and easy, I just create a little form. I'm going to publish this real quick. And again, without any technical knowledge, this is so easy to do. So we're going to scroll back down here to our form, fill this out. So my name is Jamie Johnson. And when we hit submit, we're going to see our little thank you message that we'd put into the form field previously. The other thing that's going to happen behind the scenes is it's going to send me an email because I put my email address in as the submission URL, as well as in the dashboard area, which is this area up here. There's an area called form results. And this is kind of nice. So any forms that have been created on the website are going to be listed in the form results section. So you'll see on this we've got a number of different forms, and one of the forms that is the one we just created here. And if I click view responses, it's going to list all the different form submissions. So here's the submission that just came through, nice website. As well as there's this nice little export to Excel. So if I wanted to download all of the submissions to this form, I can click the export to Excel, and I can save this file or open it in an Excel in the Excel program, which is pretty cool. So I can, if I had a leads generation form, or if I had people signing up for the company party or any other activity, users can quickly and easily download all those submissions to an Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to now click return to website, and I'm going to go back to that academics page that we were on before and just quickly show you a couple of other we don't want to go there, a couple of other kind of fun block types. And again, there's a lot of different blocks types, and there's a lot of different ways you can use a number of them. And so there's a lot of flexibility in Concrete5 to do different things. And so the best way to learn those is just to jump in it and play around with it. So I'm going to come back down here and add a new block. So we looked at the form one. If we wanted to create a Google map, super easy to do. Just type in an address, and voila, you've got a Google map inserted right into your page. We'll publish this and show it in a second. I'm going to add another block type here. In this case, I'm going to add a page list. So if I wanted to create a series of links for a different spot on the website, so for example, if I wanted to say any page that's beneath a particular page on the website, I can choose it, and what it's going to do is it's going to create a series of links. So I'm going to say parents. So any page that's underneath that parents page is going to create a link for. And if I add a new page under parents, you'll see now we've got 3 pages. Now if I were to add a new page under parents, this block would automatically be updated with new links, or with that new link to that new page that's been added. Another block type here is the YouTube video. So if we create a new video, we can simply find the URL of that video. I'm going to open up a new window real quick here. I'm going to go to YouTube. And so here's a video that Google created. I'm going to copy the URL of this video. And then I'm going to paste it in here. I can set the width and the height. And I'm going to choose the iframe player type. The iframe player type is going to work on iPhones and Android devices, so that's the one I recommend that you always use. So I'm going to click Add. So now we've got our, we've made it a little bit too big here. We've got a skinny column, but we made the video too wide, so we're going to make it, let's say 200 pixels by 150. Save it. So now it's nice and small there. We're going to publish our edits. Now we'll be able to see our Google map and our YouTube video embedded right into the website. So you can see adding some really cool functionality is almost brainless in Concrete5. And there's a lot of different functionality that's available here that you can use to really create a powerful website. So if we come down here, here's our Google map. The form that we created earlier, our link list called the page list block, and our YouTube video. So if I click that, we'll see our video that's been embedded right into the website. So you can obviously easily upload a video to the YouTube, and in no time at all have that added. Now right now we've got all these different blocks. And they may not be in the order that we want them to be in. So moving these around, super easy in Concrete5. What we're going to do is go into edit mode on the page again. And then we're going to decide what we want to move where. So, hello world, I want to move that down. So I'm going to click on it and choose move. And I'm just going to drag it to where I want it to be. So now I've moved it down there. Just that easy. And I can move it anywhere on this page just by dragging around. Deleting blocks. We don't need this on this page, so I'm going to click delete. And we just clear all those off. Now, one other cool thing that's available in Concrete5 is versioning. So if I come up here to editing, one of the options down here is called versions. And with it, every time you publish a page, Concrete5 is going to save a version of the previous page, and we can go back into time at any time and flip the page back. Now, in the years that I've used Concrete5, I think there's probably 3 times that I needed to use this, and I was really happy that it existed. So you can see here, here's a list of all the different times that this page has been updated. And if I wanted to make the page look like the way it did on March 17th, 2013 at 8:50, I can easily come up back into here and I can approve this. And what will happen is the page will literally flip back to exactly the way it looked on March 17th, 2013, even though we're in July now. So if you're making a bunch of changes to a page, you delete some stuff, you add some stuff, you publish it, you look at it and think, oh my gosh, what have I done? I just wiped out all of that work and it's going to take me hours to put it back in. Not a big deal. You can come back in and version it by clicking approve, and then what you have to do is delete the ones that are in front of it, and the page will look exactly the way it did previous. Other things, if you want to add a new page in Concrete5, there's more than one place that you can, let's publish these edits here. We got to get back into the place where we can do more stuff. So right now we're on this academics page. And let's say we wanted to add a new page underneath it. So right now you see we've got a number of pages that are underneath. Well, let's say we want to add another page. So while I'm on this page, I can come up to my edit button and click add a subpage. Now you see we've got all these different page types that are available to us. And depending on what kind of page I'm creating and what kind of things I need to put on there, I can choose these different layouts. I'm going to choose a full layout for my new page. Now when I get that, I need to give the page a name. I'm going to call it test. And then the URL slug is the path or the URL of this new page. So in this case, this page is being put underneath the academics page. So it's going to be /academics/test is going to be the URL of this page. Most of the time these description fields aren't really used in Concrete5. There are some add-on blocks that field is used for, but in this case we're going to leave that blank. And you'll see that we've got turned on the meta title, meta description, and meta keywords. Right now I'm going to leave those blank, but for search engine optimization it's great to fill in those fields so the site ranks well. So I'm going to click add page down here, and what's going to happen is a brand new page is going to be created underneath the academics page. Now you'll see we've got our template, or what's called a theme in Concrete5, is already here, but there's an empty block called add domain that we can now add content or whatever thing we want to do with it. So I'm going to add a block. I'm going to add a content block. I'm going to give this page a title. I'm going to highlight that and make it a heading 1. So it's our big blue text in this case. And then I'm going to add my text. And I'm going to click my add button down here. And I just created a brand new page in just a few seconds in Concrete5. Now you'll see when I publish this page that if I come up to academics, oh, we must have excluded it. Yep. So let's do something else. I'm going to show you one other way you can get to pages and add pages and edit them. I'm going to come up here to the dashboard, and I'm going to come to what's called the full sitemap. You'll see in the full sitemap, as we saw before, we've got the full list of all the different pages that are on this website. So if we come underneath academics, we'll see all the pages that are in academics. Nope. And where did I add my test page? Did I not put it under there? I swore I put it underneath academics. I must have been somewhere else on the site. There it is. We put it under Woodrow Preparatory Academics. Alright, that's okay. So what I'm going to do, this is a great opportunity to show you, well, I want to get this blue gun. I'm going to close this real quick. And I'm going to come back into full sitemap. There we go. So we've got our test page, and I didn't put it in the sitemap really where I wanted it to go. I want it to go underneath academics. And right now it's underneath the Woodrow Preparatory Academics. So I'm going to mouse over this little paper icon, and I'm going to drag it up to the academics page. And it's going to give me some options. I can move my test page beneath academics, which is what I want to do. I could also create an alias or create a copy of the page. In this case, I want to move it, so I'm going to click go. And we're going to see in the sitemap that our test page is now going to be under academics. I'm going to close this guy to make it a little clearer. So here's our academics page, and underneath it is now test. Now if I return to the website, we're going to see in the drop-down menu, because our menu is using what's called the auto nav block, so it's a dynamic menu. When we mouse over academics, we now see that our test page is underneath academics. So if I click on test, I may decide I don't really want the test page to show up in the menu. Maybe I've got links within the body of the website is where I actually how I want people to navigate to this page, but it's not a page that's important enough for me to want it to be in the menu. So I'm going to show you real quick on how easy it is to get it out of the menu. So here's our test page. I'm going to go to edit, and then I'm going to click on properties. Now properties, if I wanted to change the name of this page, I could do so here. If I want to change some of the custom attributes, I can do so here. So here's that meta title, meta description, meta keywords for search engine optimization. And then over here in the sidebar there's an option called exclude from nav. I'm going to click that, and you'll see now it's added it down here. And with that checkbox checked yes, it's going to take it out of the menu. So that page named test is going to no longer show up in our menu. So I'm going to click save. And then once it's done processing that, it's still here because I haven't published these changes yet. Or actually, I got to refresh this page. So now I'm going to refresh the page. And then when we mouse over on academics, let's let it refresh here. Now you'll see the test is gone. So that exclude nav checkbox is important. So when you're adding new pages, you kind of need to know where you're at in the site, as well as make sure that you exclude from nav pages that you don't want to have show up in the menu. Some other functionality that's useful. Come back here just to review. Actually, I'm going to show you one other thing. We can do a lot of the same things that we just did in the full sitemap. And sometimes it's easier to do it here because, so for example, we've got our test page. If I click on test, remember how we did it from when we were on the test page before we clicked properties? Well, we can also do it from the sitemap. And so if I wanted to add this page back into the menu, I just click that box and then click save. So now that test page will be put back in the menu. The other thing we can do is we can delete pages from here. So I can click on test and I can choose delete, and that would make the page go away. If I wanted the page layout to be different, as you may recall, we used the full page layout previously. Let's see, we're set on full right now. Well, maybe I decided later I want this to be a left sidebar layout. So we'd have a bar over here where we could put content as well as our main content area here. So I can click that and click save and change the layout of that page really quick and easy. And I can also delete this page. I can come in here and say, no, we don't need this page anymore. So I'm going to choose delete. And it's going to ask me, do I really want to delete this? Yep. And it's gone. Other things to review here, the file manager we talked about before. You can quickly and easily come into here, upload files, upload images to the file manager. If you need to search for a word, quick and easy to do right here. If you would need to add a new image, you haven't uploaded yet, you simply click Browse. I grow giant pumpkins for fun, so I can come in here and I can find a picture of me, upload it up, and then within a few seconds here it's going to add it. Now I can add my different images to sets. We talked about sets previously, so if I click the Sets tab, you'll see there's a whole lot of different sets that have already been created. So if I wanted this one to be in the calendar set, I could do that. If I wanted to be in the parent file set, I can click on that. And when I click Update, I can then add that Johnson pumpkin pictures now in those two sets. And later I can just search for images in those sets. So I put in that calendar set. So the calendar set's just got these 3 files in it. Makes it really easy to manage your files, because with time you're going to get a lot of different files in here, and putting them into sets makes it much easier to manage those down the road. You got to remember to delete that if you want to get back to the main file manager. Also previously we talked about form results, so our different forms that are on the website, we can view all of those here. There's a lot of other different options that are available to us in Concrete5, and you can poke around some of these different settings that are available. On this site we've got a blog and a events tool, and so adding events and adding blog posts, super easy to do. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of Concrete5. Please let us know if you've got any questions, and happy editing to you.